Shalom, my name is Todd Bennett, and I'd like to briefly touch upon an issue that's addressing the Hebrew Roots movement. You see, many people in the Hebrew Roots movement are coming out of the religion of Christianity. And as they come out of Christianity and they no longer identify with the Christian religion any longer, they start to look for their identity. Most eventually realize that they identify with the house of Israel, which is led by the tribe of Joseph and particularly Ephraim. And of course there's a movement of people called the Ephraimites and the Joseph movement, and essentially it's people realizing that they most likely come from the house of Yisrael that was scattered throughout all of the world after the northern tribes were taken captive by the kingdom of Assyria. So essentially this is correct, and so they're identifying with Joseph and Ephraim. They also then recognize that there are incredible prophecies about Joseph being reunited with Judah into the whole house of Israel. And we all are familiar with Ezekiel 37 and the prophecy of the two sticks. Now, as the house of Israel, as Joseph struggles with his identity, we see people trying to be accepted by Judah. And through this acceptance process, they're looking at Rabbinic Judaism essentially to find reaffirmation or confirmation of their identity. And this is something that I find to be very troublesome, because should we really be looking to Rabbinic Judaism for reconciliation, for confirmation of our identity? And I tend to think that's a grave mistake. We see from the ministry of Yeshua how he dealt with Rabbinic Judaism, because Rabbinic Judaism derives directly from the Pharisaic sect. And all you have to do is look at Matthew 23 to see what Yeshua thought about the Pharisaic sect and the religion of Judaism. And he essentially called them hypocrites, and we read about the various woes in Matthew 23, and he ended up his diatribe against the Pharisees in Matthew 23:33 by saying, "You serpents, you brood of vipers, how are you to escape being sentenced to hell?" And of course later in Revelation he called them the synagogue of Satan. And you see, he wasn't anti-Semitic. This has nothing to do with being anti-Semitic. Yeshua was anti-religion. He was seriously opposed to the Pharisaic sect, which put burdens on people. They added to and took away from the Torah, which was a violation of the Torah. So Yeshua himself was from the tribe of Judah. He wasn't anti-Semitic or anti-Jewish. He was anti-religion, and he was seriously opposed to the Pharisaic sect. So the question is then, should Joseph be looking to the Pharisees for reconciliation? Should Joseph be going to Rabbinic Judaism in order to see and seek out the fulfillment of these prophecies of Judah and Israel coming together? And I say no. I say that's a grave mistake. That's a grave it's a distraction, actually, because as we in Joseph find ourselves coming out of religion and we're looking for our identity, we have to recognize that the majority, I'm in Jerusalem right now, the majority of Jews in Israel are secular. They're not involved in Orthodox Judaism because they've essentially seen the hypocrisy as Yeshua had seen it. They're seeing the hypocrisy, the heavy weights that this religious system is putting on the people, and they're rejecting it and leaving. So why on earth then is Joseph going to this Pharisaic religion to try to find acceptance and reconciliation when so many people are leaving this religion? Shouldn't Joseph be going to the people that have rejected Rabbinic Judaism? Doesn't Joseph have the Messiah? Doesn't Joseph have the answer for these people? You see, the scepter has departed from Judah. Judah doesn't carry the scepter any longer. It's time for Joseph to pick up the reins of the firstborn and to carry the mantle of the Messiah. And we have the message that these people leaving this oppressive religious system need. And instead we're going to this oppressive religious system and trying to reconcile with them. It's a mistake, and I encourage people that are in leadership in Joseph, in the Hebrew Roots movement, to begin to look for the lost sheep, those that have left this religious system, and start to take on the mantle of the firstborn, the leadership role that Joseph is supposed to have, carrying out that mandate of Yeshua to go into all the nations. It's time for us to find our identity, and to be comfortable with this identity and take on the leadership role, and find security and find comfort in the fact that the Messiah is with us, and we have the message through the Spirit. We don't need to be going to Pharisaic Judaism for Torah, for anything at this point. We have to lead and follow the mandate that Messiah gave us. So I suggest then that we be looking for the lost sheep of the house of Yehuda. I suggest that we look for those who have left their traditional religious system and need the message of hope that the Messiah has for them. And that's the message that we carry and we can give to Judah. So that's it for now. And I hope that people can start to realize what a distraction it is to chase after the Pharisees, because that's not what Yeshua did. He condemned them for oppressing the people, and then he gave rest, hope, comfort, and he fed the hungry, the outcasts. And that is our mandate. I'm Todd Bennett from Jerusalem. Shalom.